Hello everybody, I'm Alexey Krabrov, the organizer of SF Scala. Here we're on location at Shasta Ventures, a company which funds a lot of Scala-centric startups, including TypeSafe, now Lightband, and Tali, our sponsors today. And we have excellent talks today from multiple companies attending Java 1 conference in San Francisco. So we have folks from all around the world. We're lucky to have Michal and Krzysztof from Ocada, based in Krakow, and they work in Scala, and they do really amazing things, including defeating the aliens which want to take over our planet. So welcome, guys. It's great to have you.
Hello. Hi, guys.
So please introduce yourselves and describe what Ocada does.
Okay, so I'm Krzysztof. I'm a team leader working with Michał. He's also a team leader. We are working side by side, building automated warehouse. So our company Ocada is online grocery. And we are providing technology, so we are introducing more and more automatization in the process of delivery stuff to your home, like robots, bots, whatever.
So actual physical robots.
Of course.
Do you use Scala to control them?
No, Scala is used for different part of the warehouse. We are based in Poland, and the robots are designed and developed in UK.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Poland we have a Scala projects that are basically a high-level brain of the whole warehouse. So this is also a Scala part there, but our parts are more low-level. So we are doing in Scala we are doing projects that are more related to the containers and moving inventory in those containers. Yeah.
Interesting. So by containers, you mean the actual containers in the physical world, not Docker containers?
I think I mean both, because our applications are really deployed using Docker. So and also I mean physical containers, like because the product, the groceries, and all the inventory needs to go somewhere.
How do you distinguish these two? Like, what if a Docker container breaks a physical container pipeline?
That's not possible.
So you have really cool talks, I must say, right? Like they're really exciting, and you have streaming, you have Ocada. So how did you guys choose Scala for all this stuff?
So Scala is like an obvious choice after you are tired of Java programming, and basically immutability and productivity of the programmer is far better in Scala, right? So this is like an obvious choice. When you want to do better, have more concise syntax and do things faster and maybe more reliable, then you choose Scala, right? So you know that there are three kinds of Scala programmer sources. The one is from Java, obviously, and the two others are, do you know?
Not like this.
Coming from Haskell.
Yes.
This is the second kind, and the third kind is coming from Ruby, right?
Yes.
And Scala and Scala libraries like mix them in a nice way, I think. So this is like a next step in the programming languages that make programmers more productive, taking different parts, the best parts from those three worlds, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, we used to call them Scala tribes, right? So like
Scala tribes. Yeah,
Scala
that's
tribes. Yes. Those. I think Jorge Ortiz proposed like we have Scala, but I think it's a nice kind of formalism, like Haskell. I mean, not just Ruby, right? Like we have people from even kind of other languages, right? Not as good as Ruby even, but so that's a good way to put it. So, so I'm very curious, right? Obviously, you do this in Krakow. How do you ensure you have enough developers who can do this with you guys?
Oh, it's a very hard question, because what I think. A lot of companies want to do Scala right now, and it's a lack of developers who are doing Scala, or you need to find also developers to convince them to learn Scala. It was my example. I didn't choose Scala. Scala have chosen me. So when I joined Ocada on the first day, they asked me if I can do some development in Scala, because
So they waited until you joined before they asked you this.
Yes, on the first day. Yeah, but it was good for me. So because I wasn't thinking about changing language, and it was good opportunity to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a project of 5 people, and we all were beginners in a Scala, so we are learning, and it was good decision from my point, from my perspective.
Cool. And so Krakow, I mean, it has a big university, right? No educational history. So is it like another factor? Do you get a lot of students? Do you like teach people Scala?
Okay, so I think we have a Scala meetups to convince people to have some kind of group of people who want to learn Scala and show, okay, this is a popular language because most of developers are doing Java. So I think it's a challenge to convince people, okay, you can do Scala, not only Java. This is not a dead end, okay? This is only language. So maybe if Scala will be dead after 10 years, you can always change to new language, but you will learn a lot if you switch your mind from Java to maybe to more functional in Scala.
So to add to this point, I think that we still lack many good Scala developers. So there are plenty of good developers in Krakow, but many of them choose different languages than Scala. I don't know why is that, and we've been discussing this with our colleagues. So we don't know yet what's the reason. I don't know how is that in San Francisco, for example. Is it like still a small percentage comparing to Java programmers, or it's rising, or how's that?
From my standpoint, Scala is taking over the world. Like, I don't meet Java programmers anymore, but that's again my world, right? Like my view is very limited, and I'm actually impressed by how many people from Krakow do Haskell or, other things. I think I just should go there for a conference because I'm really intrigued. Like, I see a lot of companies doing functional programming in Krakow in general, right? I think that's kind of true. Like, there are some places where people just like very strong in FP, right? So San Francisco is generally strong in FP because you have a lot of startups who understand this, right? And you still have traditional industry, but I think this is where cutting edge of progress happens. So you generally have a lot of understanding for FP, and it's general. Like, you can see a lot of companies like Visa. Visa is hiring Erlang programmers, right? Which is a very conservative company, and a lot of them locate the technical seat here. Let me ask you, so you guys are coming to the Java One, you're coming to the meetups. So obviously, you have great talks. You want to connect with the community. Like, what is kind of the main value for the community for you guys, right? Like, what do you want to accomplish by being in the meetups, by giving talks? Like, what are you looking forward to?
For me, it's always 2 reasons. The first one, when I do a talk, I need to prepare very, very thoroughly to do this talk. So basically, what I do is like I'm learning a lot stuff before I even give it the talk, right? So the idea is there like a few weeks before, and then I need to prepare myself far better than the content of this talk. So it's like content of this talk is probably 30% of the general knowledge, right? So that it can be good, and I can answer more involved questions. And the second part is, of course, knowledge sharing. So when I am excited about something, I like to share it. And it can be a kitchen in our company, but it also can be just a room here in San Francisco or in Krakow.
Do you have a really good kitchen?
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, so that's my 2 reasons.
Cool. How about you, Krzysztof?
Okay, so I think that if you understand something fully, it means that you are able to explain this to someone else. And this is a good opportunity to check this. If you are able to present something and then answer some questions, it means that you know it. And from me and Michał, from our experience, it's very good to have the same talk, deliver this talk on different meetups or different conference. This talk evolves, you meet people, you have different questions. The perspective of this talk goes into different areas. You didn't thought about it. This is a very interesting thing. And additional thing, you said sharing knowledge. It's very good that you have some doubts about technology. You just trying to learn. You just want to share with someone, and you can meet people with experience with it. You can share your experience. They can tell you something. It's very, very good.
When you give a talk for a first time, it's like the most exciting one and the most stressful one, right? Because what if I'm wrong, right? What if the whole idea is just not very good? Then you wait for the Q&A session, and some people may ask you very difficult questions. Then you know something. Yeah.
I think that's it's all true, and you will find that our community is very probing, full of the smart guys. So I hope you will have some interesting questions, and we're looking forward to your talk.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.